Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays the Brawler, where I am down here in Snowborn, where we are going to set out for what I hope will be my final day of Hootbold. We'll see how close I am. Now, I have done every single quest here during the intervening episodes except for one. That is the Garsfeld Guppy. So let's start out with the Garsfeld Guppy. This is a fishing quest, and yes, since the last episode I did go learn the fishing skill so that I will be able to do these quests.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
While the Endwash has many fish, so do the streams that pour into it. Just north of Garsfield is a small stream that comes up from the underground. In between the mouth and the first waterfall, a kind of guppy can be found. The Garsfeld guppy is unique because its bones are tough but pliable. There are no better needles for stitching and closing wounds. The fish are elusive though, and rarely stays in the same location for very long. Head to the waters north of Garsfield and catch several Garsfeld guppies and bring them back here. Now this, I think, is probably the most annoying of the fishing quests. Well, alright. They all can get a little bit annoying because there's one where you're supposed to catch an Avonk, and switching from your fishing pole to your weapon is very challenging, shall we say, ever since they made it impossible to change weapons while in combat, which means you can't fight with a fishing pole though. Well, that's a little bit of a problem here. I don't think we get that problem with the Garsfeld Guppy, but I suppose I'm going to find out, right?
Our mission is dire.
Yeah, can you give me the Garsfeld? Oh, wonderful. A nice open area that has a few mobs in it, such as this orc. Oh, there's a possible location for the guppy. Now I gotta be careful here, so I want to be able to... Actually, is that just regular splash? That's regular splashing. That's not fishing spot splashing. Now I need to find where the guppies are hiding at the moment and then start catching them, but I don't want to switch to my fishing pole too early, because if I wind up in combat, I could get into a little spot of trouble. Okay, a great deal of trouble. Now, I think the guppies are anywhere from that waterfall to this waterfall over here. And I think that there's supposed to be some sort of a... Actually, am I confusing games on what they do when they indicate that it's a... Hold on. Yeah, that's it, right over there, I think, right? It suddenly stopped doing anything. Well, they're really elusive. They see a hobbit come by, and even though I would have said that there was some sort of a... Oh, hold on. There it is. Of course, right next to where we've got this defiler over here. There you go. Now that you're out of this, now can I fish in peace? Really? Oh, there it is, right over there. Ah, I see it now. Let's see if I can catch a guppy. Am I close enough, or am I too far away? Guess I'm going to find out in a moment. Do I have to swim to the other side? Oh, I got a Garsfield guppy. Alright, I guess I'm close enough. I think that's good news. I'm not too sure I would have been able to get to the other side in time. How many can I get before the fishing hole disappears and the guppies move? Actually, the Farmer's Fair has started, and since that's on, there are plenty of opportunities to fish there, though I didn't think about doing that yet. Well, okay, that just gave me a char. I forgot what the drop rate is for the guppies. I mean, it could be that I was just right in the proper inch in order to be able to catch them, and if I'm just a little bit off on the other way, I no longer am able to. Guess I'm just going to have to find out the hard way as I try to get guppies. Actually, let's see. What happens if I do go to the other side? Oh, this looks a little bit... Okay, I can see the fish there. Okay, now that's definitely close enough. That's right in the mark. So let's see what we get here. Oh, guppies! Oh, it disappeared just as I did that, didn't it? Now, does that mean I have a chance, or did it disappear? Yeah. Well, this is going to be a long haul. I think that was just as annoying as I remembered it. But I finally have all of the guppies.
Will you aid the horse lords?
These look like nice fat fish. I might be able to get a bit meat out of them in addition to the rib bones. Alright, that's good to hear. Whee! And that means I have completed... Ooh, I'm sure I've completed some stuff. Wait, there's so many things in here. Aiding the Sudcrofts, 13 of 13, and that's all done now. And aiding the Easternmen, so all 4 of those. Now that means I have done all these quests at least once. And just be happy I didn't do them all on camera. But that means they are all done. I now have a nice amount of Hootbold coins, which I'm hoping will be enough to finish up Hootbold. Let's go and find out. I was also doing a great deal of questing in the Sucrofts between episodes, so I'm already kindred with the Sucrofts and with the Entwarsh Vale, but I still need to finish it with the Norcrofts and the Wold, and that means, yeah.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Turning in tokens 5 at a time. That means I've got 25 increments that I can get in here. I wonder if that's going to be enough. Well, let's start with the Norcrofts. That's worth 1,200 apiece. Looks like I've got plenty, actually. Right, well, at least that's plenty for the Norcrofts. Now for the Wold, where I'm going to need a few more for that one, and I think I may have enough. Well, actually, it's... Ooh, this is going to be close. Oh, I need the Wold. Glad it didn't have me accidentally buy it for the wrong one. This is going to be close. Not quite! One set of coins away, plus 100 past that. Did I miss any Wold quests? Oh, I could use a few of these Hootbold coins anyway to finish up that building, so I'll just... yeah.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
I've got plenty of mithril coins. Let's get this over with. I think the last time I did some for the Wold, I had done the other set, so let's try the one where we are going through this trap-laden area with the books that we need to find, and of course to kill some of these Kundalar spirit brothers. And if I had actually done all of them in the past, well, sorry about that. I need to get through another set because I would like to get the reputation through the quest rather than spending the tokens, so that I can have more tokens available for completing quests in there. Now, if I had counted properly and thought about it, then perhaps I could have gone and waited a little bit longer before spending all those tokens. But I must continue on from that little miscalculation. And perhaps despite that, I'll still be able to finish up my building projects. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Oh, yes, this is getting painful, isn't it? Every time you go through there, whiffle, whickle. A real trappy place. Hey, hey, stop that. Oops, 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 oops. Whoever thought that this is a great place to be? I mean, I'm just wondering, these enemies that we have here, I'm sure they don't enjoy being in this trap-laden place any more than I do, because it's a rather silly place to put traps, is right around where you're constantly walking. I suppose if you put the traps right off your path and you have a habit of sticking to a particular path and you put them right off your path, then perhaps it'll be fine, as long as the people that you are trying to stop with the trap are likely to take a slightly different path, so to speak. Now we have one more of these books to find. Hey, have any books around here? Nope. Nothing for light reading, I guess. Okay, okay. Oh, hold on. Is there anything up here? No. Oh, hold on. Yes, there is something up there. And your turn. Good. And I think with that, we are out of here. Now, this will give the rep I need, but if I spend 5 mithril coins, I am going to get every single token I can out of this. Here we are.
Our mission is dire.
I'm sure it is. And another...
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
There we go. Completed Pillagers of Knowledge and completed Kindred Out to the Wold. So I'll take care of 3 more of these quests here and meet you back in Hootbold. Here we are in the Wold District. Let's turn in some of these things. Cottages of the Wold rebuild. Ah, there aren't as many here as I
Our
thought.
success depends upon our strength.
So I
Will
suspect
you aid us?
that many more will appear
What brings
as
you to these lands?
go. Yep, it's
The Rohirrim
increasing.
have need of your services.
Questions: do I have enough
Will you
tokens
aid the Horse
to
Lords?
finish up all of these?
Will you aid the Rohirrim? Our mission is dire.
I'm sure it is. Of
Our
course,
success depends upon our strength.
some of the other districts
Will you
may
aid
also
us?
pick up a
Will
few
you aid the Horse Lords?
as a result of this.
Our success depends upon our strength.
So
Will you
I'll
aid
just
us?
have to see
Our mission is dire.
how
The
many he's
Rohirrim have
getting.
need of your
I presume I am
services.
finishing up some deeds here,
What business
here
have
and there.
you with the Rohirrim?
Yeah, I can see
Our success
buildings
depends upon our strength.
being repaired
Will you
before
aid
my
us?
eyes.
What brings you to these lands? The Rohirrim will need
Enhancements
your
too?
aid.
So I'd like to see the
Our
number
mission is dire.
of quests left
Will you
decrease rather
aid
than
the
increase.
Will you aid the Horse Lords?
Hey,
The
Horse
Rohirrim
Lords.
will need your aid.
And what we
Our
hope to see, of
mission
course,
is
is the
dire.
final deed.
The
The one that
Rohirrim have
says,
need of your
you have
services.
finished all of
Will you aid
Hootbold.
the Horse Lords?
Oh,
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
that one caught me by surprise when that fence got fixed up there.
What business have you
Where
with the
they-
Rohirrim?
Stone
Our
fence.
success depends upon our strength.
Here we go.
Will you aid us?
Before long,
What
we
brings
shall
you
be
to these
finished.
lands? The Rohirrim will need your aid. What
And
business
done.
have you with the Rohirrim? The Rohirrim have need of your services.
I won't have
Will
enough
you
to
aid the
actually
horse
buy
lords?
any of the equipment, but I've got 4 pieces already, which is enough for the set
Will you
bonus.
aid
So
the Rohirrim?
maybe I'm not going to worry about that
Our
too much.
mission is dire.
I'm more worried about the quest
The
than the
Rohirrim have
equipment
need
anyway,
of your
right?
services. What business have you with the Rohirrim? Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? Our mission is dire.
Deed completed. Hootbold, 14 of 14. Hootbold complete. Whee! How many tokens have I got left? How many to spare? 14. I don't think that'll be enough for a piece of equipment. But that concludes all of that mess. Now I just have to worry about the quest that follows up on it. Ah, Edgar has a quest for me now.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
I never thought it would come to this, but perhaps we are more lost than I could have imagined. The lords have agreed on a location for the Witan, and they are to have it here. The Witan is an ancient rite, a meeting amongst the leadership of the plains. Calling it is a privilege granted only to the king. If they are actually having one on their own, they must have lost faith and trust in his leadership. The lords will soon be here, and we will be prepared for them. Today will be an important day in the history of Rohan, though I do not know if it will be remembered for good or for ill. Let's then head into the Witan.
Skeptical of the king's state of mind, the lords of the Easternnet have gathered to decide how to defend their lands.
An interesting question on that. How do we defend our lands with the king apparently not doing much? We have all of the lords gathered here, including we have here Harding, the Aldor.
You did very well.
As Hootbold is your town, upon your permission, I will open the Witan, and we shall decide if we will stand up for our people and defend the Easternmen. As Reeve of the Wold and Aldor of the North March, I, Harding, son of Harda, call this meeting to order. Our lands are beset, our sons and daughters suffer and die, and our king does nothing. My duty is to my people. I ask that we form a council to defend the Easternmen. Indeed, many of the terrors unleashed upon us. But we cannot forsake Theoden King. Such would be turning our backs upon the mark itself. Oh, that's Egbert. Words, words! This talk wastes our time. That's Fastred, it sounds like. Yeah. What matter who leads, so long as we slay our foes? Be not hasty, young Fastred. We all wish to protect our lands. Every man here thirsts for orc blood. That's the Lord. But say on, Lord Harding. You seek to make this council, but who would you lead it? Who would lead it? Would you name yourself King of the Easternmen? I might think that you would seek that title for yourself, Snake! Of course, Mildred. The king has given his bidding. We must obey. We swore oaths and loyalty until death. Whose death? How many more my folk must bleed before Theoden upholds his duty? I am with Lord Fastred, king or council. What does it matter? There are orcs here to hew. Aye, the filth must pay for what they have done. We must wait for Eomer. He will take our plea to the king. Theodred will hearken to the counsel of his nephew, the third marshal of the... actually, he's been taken prisoner. Trust Eomer? More fool you! If the king has been swayed, then surely he has too. The only way to save the mark is to ride out at once. Ride and destroy our enemies! The king is overmastered. My own son has seen it. The wretch Wormtongue is to blame. Our best hope is to put the one who has weakened him to the blade. If I march anywhere, it shall be to Adoras for Grima's head. Ride to Adoras itself? Is that your grand idea to support the king, Lord Ingbert? Such talk alone is treason. Your head is not far from the ground that you cannot lose it. We must choose a wiser path, my friends. Then let us stand together, here, not in Adoras, and take up arms. The king cannot be saved. Prince Theodred's death has unmanned him past return. I cannot believe that. If Theoden has truly fallen, then so has the mark. Enough of this! You lot not but clucking hens. Blood darkens the grass while you bicker. Theoden is... Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you, Bournemouth. Calm yourselves, my friends. The kingdom will neither be saved nor die this night. Whatever path we choose, we must be sure that our deeds, and we must act together. I am ready to stay as long as I must until the Witan is all of... This Witan is all of one mind. Lord Athrod, you speak the truth as ever. What? It does us good to slay every orc in the side of the Endwash, if doing so tears us asunder. My lords, bide a moment, if you will. A rider has come, bringing news from Cliving. So, then, while we wait, let us have a tally to see where things stand. All who wish to follow the counsel of the Istment, speak. Aye! Alright, that is 4 who wish to have a council of the Istment. And those who would hold with the king and his bidding? Four. Deadlocked. And Baroth, where lie your thoughts? My thoughts are with my kin, my kith, my folk, all slaughtered in Thornhope. My sword, if you wish it, goes to whomever will bid me bloody it most. As I feared, we are still much at odds. Perhaps a fresh mind is needed. Pine Punch, all here have learned to trust you. What say you? Should we break faith with the king, or... My lord, fear, fire, and foes! The Westgate burns! I just rebuilt this town! It is time to stand and defend all that you have built. Oh boy, you're right about that.
The enemy is marching upon Heightbold, intent upon defeating the lords of the Easternet and claiming Eastern Rohan as their own.
Oh, this is bad. Very bad. Rain, fire, all sorts of troubles.
We keep safe these lands.
Are you prepared to
How
join
long?
us in the field of battle this day? Of course. Of course. Othaward, glad I am to see you well and unharmed. What foe threatens us this day? A throng of orcs out of the pits of Isengard, sent here to raise Hootbold and slay all who have gathered in this Witan. But how came you so far through our lands without us knowing? How, you ask? Harding, you addled fool! They came because I let them. Oh, he's a traitor! What a shock! Of course not. The wizard has given me his orcs so that I can deliver the mark to him. And in return, he shall make me king of all the Eastemnet. King? Never! Or your treachery will earn his death! Burn you all! Tear all you to ground! Spare my daughter, but kill the rest! Death! Then take you all for Thornhope! That may be rash. Right, so now I need to join Harding on the north flank, as that is this way. Defend the north flank with Harding and company. How's that? Let's take out a few orcs here and there. There you go. How about that? Anyone else? Yep, more orcs. Oh, we can deal with these quickly, right? Yeah, and you too. Oh, you can take care of the rest there, so let's go over here and help this group. Oh. Alright, good. Anyone else? Of course. More orcs! And orcs must die, right? Your turn? Oh boy. Just a ringing of bells with each orc that dies. Nothing like the sound of bells ringing to celebrate the death of orcs. There you go. Anyone else? More. And your turn. Good. Ingrid calls out for the south flank. To the south. Excuse me, while you guys fight, I will head to the south flank. Oh, whoop, I got here a bit late. Or I used up my ability a little bit too early. Either one. Hey, you. Come on, come on. I'm trying to hit you. Alright, I think the lag is finally done. Oops. You done? Good. And you. Anyone else? Oh. Well, that was one-shotting orcs with a mug. There you go. And you, and you, and you. Oh, plenty, and for you, of course, too. So we can't forget you. And, oh yes, you. Ah. Oh. Uh-oh. Join Edis in the center. Alright, fine. I'll give these guys one last punch. And get to Edis. We don't want her to die. Despite her father. Uh-oh. Father, help me, please! Oh, she's my child and she must live! That was Saruman's word! Little fool! Saruman says all must die! Stop! Not my girl! Not Edis! Ah. Like he... Right, we can't defend the center yet. Hey, are we going to... Oh, he has to get down to the slightest bit, right? There you go. Athwos is weakened to troll. Defeat it. Right, fine. Level! tidings you bring? It's done. The orcs are broken. They flee across the plains. Not for long. Our riders will cut them down as they run. None shall return to Isengard. So we've won. But at what cost? Bornoth, Rodwig, Gisel, and Otherward. That coward is hardly a loss. No coward he. He died for his child's sake. Villain he may be, yet brave was his ending. Perhaps, but were a minstrel, I would waste no breath on him. Yeah, Fastrid would feel that way. I grieve for the good men who died today. And so do we all. High is the price that we have paid, perhaps too high, but victory is ours. Ingbert, tell the riders to let some of our orcs go. What for? So the Saruman can hear the tale of the battle and tremble within his tower. He thought to ruin us. Instead, he has woken us and kindled our wrath. Let the wizard know, let all men know, the Rittermark's courage slumbers no more.
I do not believe you will find welcome here.
The battle is over. Our enemy is routed, and Hutbold is secured. Can we really declare that we won this battle, though? Berloth, Rodwig, Gisel, Otherward, we have paid a high price for this victory. Perhaps too high. We barely got through that one.
Our mission is dire.
We suffered great losses, far beyond what we could ever imagine from a single battle. However, Otherward and his betrayal was routed out. Perhaps now we can have a chance to unite the Easternmet. Right, and now I am Thane of Hutbold. So that takes care of that, except for one tiny little detail. The good news is that Edith appears to have recovered.
Every struggle is a step towards greatness.
Fine Punch, I have received word from Cliving that I must relate to you. Walnoth has been notified of the events of the Witan and has requested to speak with you about the outcome of your prior investigation. He requests your presence in the dungeon under the Cliving Mead Hall. Alright, so let's go to the dungeon and find out what this is all about. Hello there, you asked for me?
What brings you to these lands?
A pleasure to see you again, Pine Punch. Thank you for heeding my summons. Word has traveled to me of the events transpiring in Hutbold with Reeve Otherward. After further investigation, I now have no doubt that it was Otherward who was responsible for the crimes within Cliving. I believe that Otherward used Malbjord to acquire the phial of poison. He later used the poison upon his blade to mortally wound Thane Mildred's son in a duel. He likely hid the poison in the pantry, hoping that none would discover it. When the phial was found, he stole Swithorn's dagger and murdered Malbjord in his home, covering up his trail. Cattlegat and Ondesdal have both confirmed seeing Otherward at the crime scenes, but none of them considered him a suspect. All of this pieces now fit together. We owe Weagle quite an apology. Speak with him and ask how we might make amends for our improper accusation. Right, I'm sure this is going to be fun. Hello?
I believe you will find welcome here.
Otherward's corruption could not have been known, but I hope that this deception has taught the people of Cliving not to judge others based solely on appearances. Even the strongest man's heart can be tempted and twisted by desire. I harbor no grudges against you nor Walnoth for my unjust arrest, but might I make a small request as amends for my imprisonment? I would request that Walnoth draft a company of able men to make the reclamation of the croft lands lost by the orcs as the main task. The farms of my family and many others have been lost due to Athelwar's intentional negligence. Will you submit the request on my behalf? Well, I would say that that is a reasonable request, assuming that we've got the men capable of doing so.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Yes, he has handled things quite reasonably. I suspect he is pleased to know that he will soon be free again. His request is fair and selfless, but it is not minor. Retaking the crofting lands will require many riders and will take quite some time. Yet, I dare not deny this request its worth. I will begin assembling a company at once. Perhaps in time, we will see it completed. On the behalf of the people of the Norcrofts, thank you for your service. You're welcome. And that completes our time here in the Easternnet. So what do we do next? We have to find that out in the next episode of Piney Plays The Brawler.